Well, welcome back to the Steve Rob Show. Today, I want to show you something, guys. I bought this Stanley 4 horsepower 7 amp shop vac. I have two of these now. The other one I've had for about 2.5, 3 years now. I bought from Princess Auto. This one here is pretty basic. It's pretty small and it's pretty powerful. And it comes with all the regular attachments you always see. Like, I'll never use this out in the shop. My daughter uses this for her basement apartment, and it comes with a bag, and I don't use the bag, and the bag caused me a real big problem, and I'll show you why in a minute. But I got this on Amazon, like all my other smoking hot deals, and I'll just show you here at Princess Auto. If I get that in the shot there, there it is right there. They wanted 60 bucks for it. And that's what I paid for the last one, but I didn't pay $60 now. No way. I'm right onto it now. I'll show you at the end here how much I paid for it. But yeah, let's take a look and see what I was using before. And I got an update on my three-legged sawhorses. They're all painted up. I'll just show you that, and I'll show you what I used to paint them with. So let's get to it. Okay, guys. Here's the one I've had for a couple of years, and the only thing difference, it's the same model. The only thing difference I can notice is it's got a different color label for Stanley. Besides that, it's a gem to use. I'll show you it in action here in a minute. This is what I've had for the longest time. Check out the size of this thing, guys. This is 16 US gallons, and it's pretty big for the shop. And the only reason I'm going to keep this is only for my sandblaster. I'm going to mount this outside because this thing makes a tremendous amount of noise, and I really don't need something that big. So let me show you how I'm going to use this Stanley. And guys, I recommend everybody do this to keep the dust out of their shop. Let's take a look, see how I'm going to use this right now. Well, there she is right there, guys. Now that's the old one. I still have the other one up on the table saw. But that's exactly the setup that I'm going to use. And it goes into the back of my chop saw. And guys, that's all you really need. I really don't need this great big giant honking thing in the shop. And to tell you the truth, it both sucks about the same. And the filters on this one are just crazy expensive. They're a pleated filter inside. This one here is more like your regular shop vac brand, where it's empty inside there. There is no filter except like a sponge and a cover over top of the sponge. And that's the way I like it. So now let's get a piece of wood up here and we'll cut it and we'll see how it works. Okay, guys, as you can see, there's a chute right here that collects the sawdust, and I'll start up the little Stanley 4 horse here. We'll see how she does. Okay, guys, I think it does a fair job. I mean, no different than the other vacuum cleaner I had, 4 times the size. I really like this rig. Now, when you're cutting a lot of wood, you'd be surprised what the difference is. Like, you will just fill your shop up with dust, and guys, it's horribly unsafe to be doing that kind of stuff. When you're breathing that kind of fine sawdust, hooking up a vacuum cleaner to the back of your machine makes a big difference when you're making a lot of cuts. So this here in price compared to that big one there, guys, the big one is like $150 now up here, and I didn't pay nowhere near $150 for this. I'm going to show you something that I didn't like about the machine, that I didn't find out until after about maybe a year and a half that I owned it. It was my own fault. And I'll show you what's going on right here. Okay, so I had that the first Stanley 4 horse vacuum cleaner there for about a year and a half, and all of a sudden it stopped working one day. And I couldn't figure out what was going on, and as soon as I pulled the top off, now the bag was in there. Remember, we don't use the bag anymore. I quit with that bag stuff. The bag was full, and it must have overheated because I went on eBay and I bought a whole pack of these thermal fuses. And that's what it was, guys. It was my own fault. I overheated it. And I got a pack of these, like $6 for like a dozen. And I thought, okay, like when am I ever going to use this again? I've been running this rig now for, I would say, another 8 months or more. And I've never had a problem. The thermal fuse didn't trip or anything like that. But it was a little bit of a job digging that thing out to work on it. So besides that, it's been pretty flawless. I don't recommend that you use the bag, especially if you're not going to check it and you let it get full and you keep on using it like a dingbat. Okay, so I'm going to show you these sawhorses here. They're all painted up, and I'll show you what I use to paint them with. Well, there it is there, guys. What do you think? How do you like the color? And yeah, I paint right over top of the hardware and everything else. So there they are. I think they turned out fantastic, and nice easy project. So they'll last me a long time, and you'll see them in the future. Now this is the stain that I like to use, the solid res redwood, and of course it's all in liters up here. Now this was $31, and guys, this cover's terrific. This is like really good stuff. I like. It's not the most expensive stuff on the market, but it's a pretty good product. Well, thanks for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed this. It was a little bit of an update on the sawhorses here and showing you my new Stanley 4-horse vacuum cleaner. I think it's good when you buy something and you're happy with it, and then you can buy another one and the model doesn't change or anything like that. I'm very happy with that. It's so compact, so small, and so light. I mean, for me, 4-horse in the size of that container, it's just terrific. I highly recommend them. And I'll show you at the end here how much I paid for it. But thanks again for joining in, guys. I'm having a blast. You guys come back again. And if you've never seen this channel before, you're welcome to subscribe. Because we're coming back again, and we're going to have some more fun. Cheers, guys.